Hey, it's video 3 for lesson 1, unit 1. And for this video, I'm just going to explain to you how you're going to do the next step, which is reading through an article and answering 5 questions. The reason I have to explain it to you is it's just got some complicated things about stylistic choices when it comes to writing. All right, so your objective for this lesson is students will be able to identify a piece of social protest art and analyze the effect of its figurative language on the audience. So we're going to talk about figurative language a little bit. The question I want you to think about for this video is is hip-hop social protest art? And you can also think, are other kinds of music also social protest art? Do you listen to something? Is there something playing in your earbuds on a regular basis that could be considered social protest art? By the end of this lesson, I want you to actually find a song that could be considered social protest art and be able to tell me why it is or why it might be considered social protest art. All right, there are 3 artists that are going to be talked about in this article. The first is Lil Baby, the second is Anderson .Paak, and then we've got, J. Cole. I don't think he's actually, is he mentioned in the article? Watch to see if he's mentioned in the article or not. He's the one that I mentioned, though, earlier, because he is, so much of his song lyrics are social protests. And so I'll use one of his songs as an example in this video coming up. All right, a little bit about the article, a reminder that social protest art is art that addresses and challenges cultural power structures. And this article was published June 29th, 2020 in the Daily Bruin, part of UCLA. And this was the writer, and he makes a point in his article that rap has always been about social protest. And so I want to hear what you guys think about that. Is that true? And as far as what you think and know about rap and hip hop. He's going to talk about NWA a little bit, and just a reminder that when we write about this stuff, if we've got swears in them, we're going to just censor them because we're in school, right? And if you can handle talking about stuff that has swears in it without using the swear either out loud or in writing, then I know that you understand the difference between how we talk in school and how we talk outside of school about this kind of stuff. So show me that you can handle that, please. And then he's also going to mention that this song became sort of an anthem in 1992 in the LA riots. And that was after police officers who were charged with excessive force were acquitted and in the Rodney King beating. Okay, so just a little bit of background information on the article. All right, remember how social protest art works? It uses stylistic choices to address and challenge cultural power struggles. When it comes to visual things like paintings and photographs, the stylistic choices are things like color, texture, the facial expression of the person in the piece of art, and among many other things. In plays and songs, the stylistic choices are words. Words that are used in figurative language are powerful and chosen for particular reasons and particular effects. What's figurative language? Well, it's words that mean more than the literal. Literal is explicit. It means what it says, period. Figurative, it means more. And some types of figurative language that we're going to talk about in this article are simile, metaphor, and irony. So I want to remind you guys what those things are as we prepare to read this article. First of all, you're going to read the article and answer the questions, and they require you to be able to talk about metaphor, simile, and irony. So what is simile? It's a comparison between two unlike things using the words like or as. Here's a good example from Tupac's song Holler If You Hear Me from 1993. So we live like caged beasts, waiting for the day to let the rage free. So this makes it a simile, this word. And he's comparing we, himself, and another group of people to what? Caged beasts. All right. The next one is metaphor. Metaphor is a lot like simile. It's just without using words like, or as. So it's a comparison again between two unlike things. And then irony. Irony is when the opposite of what is expected happens or is pointed out. So we'll look at an example here of metaphor and irony from J. Cole, one of the masters of contemporary social protest lyrics. Here is an example of metaphor. He says, welcome to the shelter. This is pure, will help you if you felt too insecure to be the star you always knew you were. Wait, I think police is at the door. So shelter, he's talking specifically about, in this song, about a basement studio that he used. And he calls it a shelter. So at first, it's not alike in that, you know, one is just a studio and the other is like a place where you go where if you don't have a place to live, or maybe like a bomb shelter where there's some kind of emergency happening and you need to take refuge. And so he's comparing this studio to a place that is going to help you, where you can take refuge. All right, here's an example of irony in the same song. It's Neighbors that came out in 2017, by the way. He says, and we're not going to use this word in class, N-word, you can use just that instead, and same thing when you write it down. We're not going to use it because that's how we roll at Cooper. Every N-word feel like a candidate for a Trayvon kind of fate, even when your cribs sit on a lake, even when your plaques hang on a wall, even when the president jam your tape. So he's talking about how it's the opposite of what you think is going to happen, because he's very famous, he's rich, even Obama apparently was listening to his music, and he says, but I still feel like I'm going to end up like Trayvon Martin being shot without reason. So the opposite of what you think is going to happen happens, or is pointed out in this case. So that's irony. All right, hip-hop songs are often social protest songs. Take a look at how they work as social protest songs in the article and answer the 5 questions. And keep in mind that social protest art is all around us. And in your earbuds, you've probably been listening to some social protest art. In Mastery Check 1, you're actually going to be asked to find a song that's a social protest song that you know of, outside of the ones that are used as examples in the article. Good luck as you finish this up, and then you can do Mastery Check 1. Oh, there's a should do and an aspire to do after the article, and then you can do Mastery Check 1.